Hello viewers, welcome to my show. Well, as promised, I am back with yet another inspiring story from an amazing personality. He studied to be a medical doctor, but somehow decided that he was going to serve his country and people by joining the IAS, and so he did in 1995, where he joined the Tamil Nadu IAS cadre. And from there on, there has been no looking back. He has a Chevening Gurukul Scholar from the London School of Economics and Political Science, and an LKY Fellow and MPM degree holder from the National University of Singapore and Harvard Kennedy School of Government. And his abiding passion is to transform governance within his jurisdiction with the help of tools and practices from information technology. He has got over 250 innovations under his credit. Oh my God, whom are we talking about? Dr. Santhosh Babu. It's such an honor to have you on my show, Dr. Babu.
Absolute pleasure being with you, Dr.
What an amazing, so much of work behind you. So first of all, you tell my audience, Dr. Babu, that what made you join IAS after you studied to be a medical doctor?
Thank you, Dr. Renuka. Right from childhood, my father used to say that if you want to serve your country, the IAS is possibly the best option. So, at third standard, fourth standard, I think it probably brought the first competition success review magazine.
Okay.
So, competition success review, as you know, features the toppers, as it were, and their stories, the trials and tribulations that they've gone through. So that kind of inspired, and then me and my sister were onto it every month.
But then why after medicine? I mean, after MBBS Trivandrum Medical College is through merit.
Absolutely.
And then
see, around 10 lakh to 15 lakh people write the prelim examination, and finally only 80 people get into the IAS.
Right.
This year, I think around 160 people. These years, during our times, it was only around 80 people who got the IAS. So there's no surety that will get into the IAS. So you need a fallback option.
Fallback option.
Yeah.
But was becoming doctor your passion? Was
Absolutely.
There any
That
passion?
was a huge passion. In case I didn't qualify for the IAS, I would have become a very good doctor.
I am sure.
Least.
I have no doubt. And you married a doctor, an amazing immunohepatologist.
She's an immunohematologist and a transfusion medicine expert.
Absolutely. Yeah. But your son decided not to become a doctor.
That's right. He's an engineer.
Yeah. And a state topper.
He's a fourth rank holder in the +2 examination of the state board.
Wonderful. So impressive. Dr. Santhosh Babu, you've got so much of work behind you. I mean, like, I remember, you were telling me how dilapidated buildings you've converted into swanky offices, and then those schools, the way you've converted them into such lovely buildings. And then your predecessors, I think, had a turnover of 35 crores and
31.
Today 31 crores, and you have turned it to a 75 crore
plus
turnover.
This year will touch more than 75 crores.
75 crores. So amazing, amazing. So what, first of all, let's actually talk about your passion to do this. Now we've seen that you used information technology to kind of innovate and to renovate and to bring all your ideas, and you always think out of the box. So what is this behind this? I mean, what goes on in your mind? How do you think like this?
No, actually the IAS, or for that matter politics, you have to be a leader, and you are a leader by design, default, or just because you are there. But because you are a leader, a huge audience downstream is looking up to you for that leadership. So if you can communicate a compelling aspiration to your people, they will take care of the rest. You just need to motivate them, give them a big idea.
Right.
Listen to them. So I constantly say that the first letter L would stand for being a good listener.
Right.
So I think I'm a good listener. Whichever office I go, in the first 15 minutes we have a think tank meeting, where from the peon to the CMD anybody can speak. Wow. Because if you're for an IAS officer going to a new organization, even the peon is better than you because they have more domain knowledge than you. You're going to get into a new organization. So better listen to people, and they will come up with a huge number of ideas. Right. If you give them an audience, they are some of the best people because they know how it is run, how it can be, etc. So
in fact, your driver only told you how to make your present office.
That's right, yeah. So the first think tank meeting when I joined in 2014 in Tamil Nadu Handicrafts Development Corporation, this man said, "So why don't you do this, and in the building, if you're planning to construct a couple of more floors, we can take our people to the top. They're sitting in a cellar. If we can convert the cellar into a go down, where we are paying more money to the private sector to actually keep it as a go down, etc. So that I thought it was a brilliant idea and convert into a 3.5 crore project. Then I requested money from government. I didn't get it, so immediately we took a loan from NABARD, and now I have a very beautiful office. Let me tell you, please come to the Tamil Nadu Handicrafts Development Corporation. It's right behind HDFC Bank on the Mount Road. It's one of the most beautiful offices, government offices you can ever see.
Yes, and my viewers would definitely love to do that. I think, and I hope you're not the typical bureaucrat. It's so difficult to get an appointment. They can
Anybody
just
walk in between 10 and 5:45. I'll be there.
How nice. So make use of this opportunity. This man is amazing, and the way he's converted an old office into what he's right now sitting in is truly inspirational. Dr. Babu, you have served the government of Tamil Nadu in various capacities, right from a sub-collector to executive director of the Tamil Nadu Corporation for Development of Women. I think that is an amazing project, and I think even in Krishnagiri you have done a lot of, you've got a BPO for the children, school dropout, urchin kids. So tell us a little about that. What is this for the children and the women that you've been doing?
Actually, my own feeling is that everybody is born equal. That's what people say. But the only difference between you and me and probably the poor is they don't have a circumstance. So I think everybody's job, including yours, mine, those in the NGO sector, etc., is to provide that circumstance, and then you can see their talents blooming.
Right.
So I've seen these young 5th standard, 3rd standard dropouts. When you bring them back to school and give them the right ambience and atmosphere and the inputs, they transform themselves.
Okay.
So we brought back 10,000 out-of-school children in Krishnagiri. It's not a joke. It's a huge, massive exercise.
Wow.
And that's why Dr. Kalam actually called me on telephone and spoke about it. We can actually track every out-of-school child. So if he drops out again, then we'll go back and kind of fall at his feet and please come back to school.
They come.
They'll come. You provide, so the only things we used to ask is, what will it take for you to come back to school? Anything under the sun, the collector can provide, because government of Tamil Nadu is one government which provides almost everything free, which can be used for the benefit of the poor. So right from foot to head, you can provide lots of stuff, which the collector is empowered to do, as it were. So I use that opportunity to bring back all those children. For example, around 1,000 government jobs were given for noon meal workers, were given to the out-of-school children mothers, so that while they cook at the school, the children will be coming back to school. They won't drop out.
Okay.
So I found that these young boys and girls have an amazing skill in their minds, but it requires a circumstance for them to explore their skill and talent. So that's what drives me actually, because I feel that we have 1.25 billion people in India, and
I think more than 50% are under the age of 25.
Yeah, that's right. There's a youth, the youth population is massive.
Absolutely.
And that's a promise for this country again. And I'm sure in the next 10, 15 years, the whole, the supposedly people below poverty line will go out of that and go into prosperity.
Thanks to people like you. Wow, truly inspirational, isn't it? So I'm going to now slip into a very short break, and then on return we're going to talk of these amazing projects that Santhosh Babu has done for our society, especially for the children and rural women, and the way he's made a difference in everyone's life. Stay tuned. We're going to return very, very shortly and quickly. I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to the Dr. Renuka David Wellness Show, and I'm in conversation with Dr. Santhosh Babu. Dr. Santhosh, you have done so many projects, over 250 innovations, and I must tell my viewers some of it. All women courier services. Tell us about this. I'm sure you must have touched so many rural women in this project.
Dr. Renuka, when I joined Shivaganga as a district collector, I was there only for 8 months and 8 days. It looks like I was counting my days.
8 months, 8 days.
8 days.
Okay.
But the first day when I joined, there was a man standing there and requesting to be seen an appointment. I said, call him in. And he came and gave this brilliant idea that, these girls who are selling flowers on the streets, they can be used to make it as a courier service. And he had a name already for that, Dinam Thorum Couriers. So he was asking me whether the collective will be interested in this. I said, of course. I've been the ED of Women's Development Corporation, and these are the kind of projects that we'd like women at the rural level, SHGs, to do, rather than selling small things at the shops, etc. Doing services. So immediately we got on that, and then with the help of this university in Karakudi, that's Alagappa University in Karakudi. There was a professor by name, I forget her name for the moment, I'll come back, Regina Papa, Dr. Regina Papa. And we trained these girls, we picked them up from the streets, as it were, and trained them on etiquette, on speaking, on what to do, on account keeping, and all those things, and give them nice uniforms, and then later on cycles, and then later on bikes.
And what were they couriering?
The couriering, we requested that all the government tapals will at least go through this courier service, what was fixed. And then we requested all the government and private agencies in the district to do that. So after I left also, it went on to spill over to other districts, 5-6 districts. And then certain things happened, and it didn't take off very well. But it went on for 4 or 5 years.
Post office was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, they also wrote to us saying that this is...
they were doing their job.
That's right.
And today you converted the Tamil Nadu Handicraft Corporation to something. In fact, all our lovely airports, thanks to Dr. Santhosh Babu, you see, especially the international airport, the moment you come, it's such a delight to see those lovely handicrafts which are displayed along the corridor. You also ensure that the artisans have been given the pehchan, the recognition, rather than the middleman. So tell us of this amazing transformation.
This corporation has been there since 1973, and it's been the brand has been built by my predecessors. So I'm really thankful to my predecessors, because it's very easy for somebody to come and pile on the brand and then do whatever. So that's what I've done. So the brand was there. Pumpuhar is a household name, as it were, and everybody has something of Pumpuhar at their home. So having said that, there was an opportunity for me because I use technology like mad. So when I looked at it, I found that it's just another routine government office where people were, we were transacting just through the routine file system, and we were taking around 30-35 days for a routine production or a procurement decision, etc. Then on the other side was the marketing, which is only through the showrooms, 15 showrooms that we had, and around 250 exhibitions. So for me, this was a very subliminal level of existence, as it were. So what we did was we worked on 4 pillars. One was administration, second is marketing, third is design, and fourth is production. So administration, the moment we came in, we made it completely online. So we introduced an ERP. So right from the peon to the CMD is online. So if the peon has to send an leave letter, he has to apply on the ERP. There's no way he can apply through paper.
Stands for?
An enterprise resource planning software. These are available off the shelf you can take. This is a software which I developed along with another company when I was Elcott MD. So this was familiar territory for me. So that is one. Then we started doing things on the attendance, biometric attendance system. We put around 100 cameras across India in different showrooms. There's a lot of pilferage that was happening.
Yes. And that too, Pumpuhar is a lovely small products.
Small items are pretty costly also. Somebody can pick up and go. Let me tell you, Tamil Nadu government is one of the governments which provides innovators with the funds to do it. They have a state innovation fund around 300 crores. You can apply for it and get it. So I applied numerous times and got all the money. I got a 1.68 crores for establishing what is called a Design Research Development Center. It's one of its kind in the world where you use 3D printing, 3D designing, virtual reality. So in 2 months' time in the Chennai airport, you can find my showroom. You can put the headgear, see my showroom virtually, pick out the items, give haptic feedback, and buy the items there itself.
And Dr. Santhosh Babu, among my viewers today, if someone wants to get in touch with you or your office, what's the easiest way? Suppose he himself has a product that he wants to showcase and take it forward. So what's the easiest way that he can get in touch?
Best is our websites are there. We have 3 websites: tnhtcltd.com, then tnpumpuhar.org, and tnartisan.com. These are 3 sites, and of course I am available. 99404 74863 is my mobile number and WhatsApp number. Email ID is santinits@yahoo.com. We are available. All my people are excellent. They have cards, and they will be willing to exchange cards. They will be willing to help people. They are outstanding set of people I have seen.
Absolutely. You're such a great leader, because today I think India is providing this sort of opportunities for entrepreneurs, you know.
That's right.
Interesting, isn't it? And after this very short break, we're going to talk of some more of lovely ideas that Dr. Santhosh Babu is doing. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back, dear viewers, to the Dr. Renuka David Wellness Show, and I'm in conversation with Dr. Santhosh Babu, an amazing, inspirational IAS officer and a lovely bureaucrat. Dr. Babu, now let's talk about life. What have been your philosophies of life?
See, according to me, there's only one thing which is equally available to everybody in the world. Not even oxygen is available equally, right? The only thing available equally to everybody, be it the President of America or the President of India or me or you or the beggar on the street, it's the 24 hours.
24 hours.
It's available.
Capsule.
Yeah, that's capsule. So how effectively you use the time for the self and for others will kind of tell you how good you are with your wellness. Because you are a person who talks about wellness. You have the Radiant Wellness Conclave coming every year. So what does wellness mean? See, personally for me, it means absolute work-life balance. So if you are not able to do this, then you are, moving this side and that side of unwellness, as it were. So if you can actually finish off your work in the office time, then spend a lot of time for your personal, I call it, human beings are like mobile phones. We need to recharge and come back the next day very fresh.
Right.
Whereas I find people working till 11, till 10 p.m., etc. There's no need to. Right. Effectively, if you can use technology and use people nicely, these people are willing to do anything for you. They'll be extremely loyal to you, provided you allow them to go at 5:45. So in my organization, wherever I have been, I'll charge sheet anybody who stays beyond 5:45.
You charge sheet
anybody who stays.
Find them. Oh
Absolutely.
My God.
Only recently my accounts officer came and said, "Sir, please allow me to continue to stay on Saturday also." I said, "No." Then she said, "No, sir, accounts is happening and the accounts, the outside auditors are coming, they are comfortable on a Saturday only." That's how we allowed that Saturday also. Okay. But otherwise we don't allow, because many of our people are women and they have to take a bus. For me, I have a vehicle, drive everything, but they have to take a bus, they have to go home, then they have to cook for somebody else, they have to put to make everybody happy, etc. So it's better that we close office at 5:45. Whatever it is, even the most pressing office can work like that. And if you find the European countries, they don't work outside office hours, and come a Friday they are out.
They're out. Their weekend starts on Friday.
So you should be able to do certain things for yourself, which will keep you make you feel happy the whole day.
Absolutely, that's
because
what
ultimately wellness is about happiness.
Yes.
If you're well, you're happy. If you're unwell, you're unhappy.
Absolutely,
there's a correlation.
Absolutely. And Dr. Santhosh Babu, you also told me how you make sure you watch that movie every day with your wife.
That's
right. So you have a proper work-life balance where you do your work, your capsule of work. I mean, you put all your energy, but after that you just close office.
Absolutely.
And
I don't take work
family,
home or home to work.
Right.
So the moment I leave home, I forget I am a married man. The moment I reach office, I forget. Sorry, I got it.
You reach home and then you forget that you're an administrator. Yeah, right. So, and Dr. Santhosh Babu, what would be your message to our youth in terms of encouraging them to be entrepreneurs?
Any young boy or girl who's thinking about starting life, who'd have thought about being in government or in business or being an entrepreneur, whatever it is. But whatever it is, I think there's a lot of envisioning that has to happen in the mind. Where you're going to be next 20 years, 25 years, you have to think at 20 years of age. You have to think like that. Like I was always thinking about the IAS when I was doing medicine. And when people used to ask, what do you want to become, an eye specialist or cardiologist or whatever, I said, I want to become an IAS officer. And until you start believing in it, it won't happen. So first is that process of envisioning for yourself where you'll be. And why are you doing it? Personally for me, I believe there are two phases in life where you are a taker and you are a giver. So taker is when you are dependent on your parents. You take money, you take love, you take affection, you take education. But once you're settled, the idea that God has given you is to give for others.
Give back.
Give back. The day you start your day, but you dress up, but you're not spending anything for yourself. You are actually spending 95% of your time for others. So do it with a lot of elan, do it with a lot of pleasure, put your heart and soul into it, and you can succeed. So excellence is what you have to personify. You have to think excellence, you have to act excellence, you have to work excellence. So excellence is something which you have to aim at. which means what? You have no personal agenda. You are thinking that you're going to float an organization. You're not floating that organization for you. You're going to float that organization for your shareholders. Think about them, how you're going to transform their lives. So by doing that, you're taking a lot of pressure from you. The moment you start focusing on the self, then there's a lot of problem. The moment you start focusing on others, how much you're going to contribute to them, their lives, transform their lives, it eases these tensions.
Right.
Then you are able to think very clearly with a lot of clear head and succeed.
Transforming their lives.
Absolutely.
With innovations. And my last question is, today you have done so much for even women and the underprivileged. And today we are looking forward to see India as one of the superpowers, which we are, I think, very rapidly, and we are going, the pace that we are going in, it's not, it won't surprise me if we reach there sooner than we all are hoping. So what would be your message to women, probably the women who are not too confident on themselves, thinking that what can they contribute to society, and what would be your strong message to them?
Ma'am, I have been of the very firm view that no country can progress without 50% of the people getting empowered. So empowerment means what? For me personally, I would be very, very happy if a girl completes a 10th standard, +2, degree, stands on her feet economically, and then think of marrying. So I was talking about the other day also. In marriage, you have to be equal to the partner. Equal in...
and we have to educate the husband and I guess the family of the husband to accept a girl who comes in with all these qualifications.
And second thing is that, this is slightly revolutionary. I think we should stop taking and offering this dowry. These are two things which I feel will empower women. And for her confidence, I think the economic independence is the key. If she is not economically independent, she is not equal to the man.
Right.
So the moment you are dependent on his salary, you are dependent. Your confidence will come down.
Right.
And I found a lot of women with a lot of skills in them, talent in them, singing or dancing or whatever. I think you should take up all that and express. You should be given the ability to express those talents and flower and bloom.
I think that's another question I was actually keeping for the last. You yourself are a musician. You sing, I think you play the guitar?
Yeah, I make a lot of noise with the guitar.
So apart from being a great administrator, you make sure that you're watching a movie every day with your family. You are telling with your wife, you go out and watch a movie every day. You're a musician. You make sure that you are compartmentalizing your time for your work, for your family. And your management of time has been excellent, and I think you've been an amazing role model because your son is today it's not only a state topper, but I think he's doing very well in his career also.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's actually been so delightful having you on my show, Dr. Santhosh Babu, and we always would pray that we have many more administrators like you who are touching so many people's life and who do not have to go through that typical red tape bureaucracy to get their things.
Yeah, that's something which, can I say?
Absolutely.
No, that's, I think a lot of young officers are doing this these days with technology and all. And time will come when you don't have to transact with government by going to their government office. You can sit at home and the internet will be the only interface for your transactions. Just like you file for a air ticket, you can ask for your community certificate, nativity. I have already done that earlier. But mostly, I think we are going to a situation where you should not see government, but you should be able to feel governance. That will happen, and sooner than later. That's a promise.
Excellent, excellent. Innovation, touching people's life, empowerment, that has been his key mantras, and we've been so privileged to have him on my show. Dr. Santhosh Babu, you have no idea, but I'm sure you have touched a lot of people out there watching my show today.
I wish to thank you, Dr. Renuka. You are yourself a role model. Heard you a couple of times, and I've seen the passion which you bring to your job, into the things that you do, and inspiring people. Amazing to be with you, happy to be with you, inspired to be with you.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless. So that was Dr. Santhosh Babu, and I'm going to bring another very inspiring person next week. So have a blessed week ahead. Stay radiant, stay happy, spread the sunshine, and I will see you in a week's time. God bless. Goodbye.